Well, every day we should take the opportunity to show respect for seniors' accomplishments and the influence they have on our lives. Now, President Ronald Reagan in 1988 made Senior Citizens Day official with a proclamation. And a recent census count shows there are 47 million seniors living in the U.S. That's a number expected to nearly double by the year 2060. Now, if you're looking to brighten a senior's day, now could be the perfect time to maybe volunteer at a retirement home. And joining us now is Dr. Alozie, and we've been told many times before that we need to respect our elders.
As a Nigerian,
right?
I'm told that all the time.
Oh, all the time. We still do. In fact, this is a phrase that most children hear throughout their lives. Well, Senior Citizen Day is all about respecting your elders, so today is all about them. So, Doctor, can you talk to us about some important facts about seniors?
Well, you already kicked it off, right? So we're expecting over the next 28 to 30 years that the percentage of the population that is above 65 is going to be doubled, right? So we're going to go from 47 million to about 80 to 85 million. And that's not surprising, right? Because baby boomers have made up the largest segment of this population for a very long time. As they get older, that percentage of the population gets older.
But every senior is different.
Yes. So I think it's really important to understand if you have a tia or a tío, an abuelita, an abuelito, that they're all different, right? Some of them are skateboarding and motorcycling, and some of them are not, unfortunately, right? They need care. It may not be 24-hour care, but they live with you. They may be in a facility that's assisted living, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. But I will say this, if you have an older relative, it's never too late for them to get healthy enough so that they're older. It's always better to be the oldest person in the gym than the youngest person in the nursing home.
That's a good point. Well, what are some of the influences that may impact their health?
You know, so my mom turns 80 next year, and so I'm talking to her about a lot of this, right? It's behaviors that you have, activities. A lot of the age-related changes can be affected by what you do, whether it's reading or puzzles. If you have a chronic disease, hypertension and diabetes is huge in our society and in our community. But again, whether you're in assisted living, you need transportation, you need social, whatever it is, there are ways to cope with these things and not be a quote-unquote burden on your family, but more importantly, not be a burden to yourself as you get older.
Well, as seniors get older, we've heard stories about them falling. It's so sad, heartbreaking. But what causes falls in older adults?
You know, a lot of it can be age-related things like arthritis, right? Somebody may have had a knee replacement, a hip replacement. Age-related eye changes are huge, right? People can't see, and like we talked about the other week, they don't want to wear glasses, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to get their cataracts removed. They may have glaucoma that has led them to have vision loss. And what's really critical and sad about that sometimes is that people then fall. Your 1 year mortality after a fall, especially if you're female, can be up to 50% in some situations. So if an older person falls, that's a disastrous event, and you want to avoid that as much as possible.
Well, that's good to know. Talk to us about signs of dementia.
Yeah, so a lot of people say, well, I forgot my keys. I forget my keys all the time, right? Or I forgot a meeting, or if I don't have my phone, I don't remember what I'm doing half the time. That's not dementia. That's just age-related changes. But if you forget bills consistently, if you don't know the day, time, or year consistently, that's very, very different. Those are conversations that you then need to have with your loved one or your friend and try to figure out what to do about them. There's some medications, there's some early exercises that train the brain that you can get better with and help your brain still keep intact. But again, it's important to identify those things early because after a while it gets too late.
Well, what are some other ways to help boost your health?
I mean, we talk about this all the time, right? A lot of those things are keep healthy. I will say this, if you're able to, if you're an older person listening to this or you have a family member, activity is huge. And I know as you get older, you get tired, right? But you got to stay active, whether it's swimming, whether it's water aerobics, whether it's just walking, right? Simple gardening can be those things. Puzzles, Legos, and anything that keeps your mind going is huge. Really important to get people that are getting older to engage in mind activities. And even if you're not older, do those things that are important long term.
Start young. What about some helpful resources for us?
Well, I think one of the biggest things, and I always say this, you need to at some point in time engage with healthcare so that you can have a navigator of your healthcare as you get older. If you have a loved one, however, that's already gotten older, make sure they get their eyes checked, right?
Okay.
Make sure that they get their ears checked. Hearing is huge too, right? See a neurologist if you need to. And do physical therapy. We often think about physical therapy as something that happens after you've broken something or after you've injured something. You can do physical therapy just to stay fit or to understand what you need for your body to keep strong. Those are the keys. Hey, we want to get older healthily and not hurtfully.
Yeah, we want to look good. We want to feel good as well. Dr. Lozzi, thank you so much for joining us as always.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's get to storm track weather now. Doppler Davis standing by with your forecast. Hi, Doppler.
All right, hi, Nicole.